everybody. Just want to give you a heads up.
Sorry, guys.
Ian and I are going to talk about a bunch of political stuff today in today's show. So if you are trying to stay away from the news, you just want to use this podcast as a sanctuary and not think about bad things, this may be an episode you want to skip. And I can drop a time code in of if you just want to fast forward, to some point later in the show where we're done talking about all that stuff.
Yes, so check the description for time codes for avoidance.
Yep. So there you go. We love you. Wait, that's your line.
Oh, wait. Thank you. We love you. Goodbye. Dave.
Ian.
Do you remember
Apexadjacent, our show? Yes.
Yeah. No, everyone knows. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago? I told you a story. No. I told you a story about me being in Las Vegas and doing a simulator thing while I was there for a work trip.
Yes, I legit thought about that earlier today because I was going to tell my brother-in-law about it because I think he might be going there recently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, so it was in the Wynn Casino, and there's like a McLaren thing there, and you could pay like $200 to like have an hour with an instructor. He's in your headset, and it's like an upgraded sim thing, and then there's a competition or whatever. And so this was in the like early part of the month, right? That I went, and they have prizes for like top time of the month or whatever.
Yeah.
And I went, and I had the second highest time of the day when I went.
Okay.
And the guy was like, you did really well. You should come back. And I was like, yeah, of course he wants me to come back. Like,
sure,
he wants me to, spend more money. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. That was fun.
Right.
That's
you
good.
Got a taste, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, if I'm second today, then, whatever.
Yeah. And it's not 7 a.m. So.
And I know that because I was talking to him, I know I'm like 4 seconds off of his pace, off of the instructor's pace.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm going to find another 4 seconds, right? Like, I don't think that that it's worth me coming back.
Right. Over how long was the lap?
It was a minute. I was doing like 125s.
Finding 4 seconds on a 125 lap is a huge percentage to pick up.
It's a huge percentage, right? And I already felt like I was like kind of at my limit of my understanding of the track, and like I was having trouble with, in real life you rely on the wiggle waggle, and you can't feel the wiggle waggle. Yeah. And I was playing around with I was at the point where I was playing around with traction control settings.
Oh, okay.
To like get the most out of it, and I was having a real hard time like figuring out like, is that me doing that or is that the car doing that?
Okay.
So I was at that point already, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to get anywhere. Yeah. I'm going to end up overdriving, and it's going to be a waste of money. Well, I got a text yesterday. I placed second for the month.
No way, dude.
And they're like sending me a prize package. Apparently, me and the guy that day, top time of the month, it was like early January.
Dude, congratulations, man.
Dave, I was off of his time by less than a tenth.
What?
Yeah. When I left, I was less than a tenth off of the top time of the day. And I just thought, well, that's just the top time of the day.
Right. And of course, this guy's telling me to come back.
Those were the 2 top times for the month.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, crazy.
That's amazing. Well done.
I should have gone back.
You should have. Yes, you can find a 10th. You can find 2 of those.
They're giving those away for free.
1/5, if you will.
Yeah.
Dude, so, do you know what's in this prize package?
It's like a t-shirt.
Sure.
Which I ordered an extra small so I could give it to Nico.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
And then like the ugliest hat I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
And then like a leather McLaren keychain, which I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But anyway.
We need an unboxing on the podcast when you get it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
I want to see it. That is fantastic, man.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
That's such a hilarious, like, oh, it's out of your mind. You did a thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That's
It was
so
like one
funny.
of those texts where I got it and I was like, what is this area code?
Right. Right.
Yeah. I was like, Kamala Harris, you're texting me again? Oh no.
Wow. That's amazing, buddy. Nice job.
Yeah. Thanks.
Making Apex Adjacent proud, buddy.
Yeah. Pretty hilarious.
Well done, Ian. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What should we talk about tonight?
You know, we got some stuff. We're going to go on a journey. We've got some ups. We've got some downs.
Yes.
Okay. I think we should come off of this high.
Okay.
And drive our noses straight into the dirt.
Great.
And then I'll
Push
try to
that
pick us
stick all
back
the way
up again.
forward.
Right? Yeah. Rinse and repeat.
Great.
Okay.
Dave, it's that time again. I have a very half-formed thought rattling in my head, and I want to talk to you about it. Please don't. Please don't do this.
Getting wet with Ian.
I still hate it so much.
It's one of my favorite things I've ever made.
I still hate it.
Cheers to getting wet with Ian.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you've been watching the news lately.
Haven't. Mental health keeping it out of my view.
Well, I'm here to ruin it. So, what I do.
Uh-huh.
So, Elon Musk and his band of, as I'm calling them, brown-shirted virgins, have infiltrated all of the federal government at this point, right?
Okay.
They're into NOAA. They've already shut down one agency. They are,
Jesus Christ.
they're full in, and they're now apparently they have read-write access to the mainframe that processes payment at U.S. Treasury, like a fifth of the U.S. economy. Cool.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know why you would need read-write access to that, but apparently they've got it.
Ugh.
And the thing that lots of things to unpack there, but I think the angle that we can talk about, and the thing that I've been thinking about a lot, is that we both work in IT. I work in, federal government related IT. So a lot of this stuff, I'm very familiar with, and I'm very familiar with how long it normally takes to get access to things and stand up a server and put it on a network and all that stuff.
Right.
And this is not that. They're not doing any of that stuff. And I have in the past complained about all of that, right? It is slow and frustrating, and there are problems with that process, but smashing in the door and shoving in a recent high school graduate that learned to code in the AP class is not the answer.
Right. Correct.
And it feels to me like, we've talked a little bit about this before, but us in our generation, I think, was kind of the last where technology was really Star Trek, right? It was very optimistic and very egalitarian, and
altruistic, right?
Yes, it was. That was the motivation behind early Silicon Valley. There was genuine altruism behind the project of the internet.
Right.
I know that's hard to believe now.
Yes.
But it really was a major driving force for it, especially 30 years ago. That was it. It was nerds with kind of a utopian vision of the future,
right,
and free time that made the internet what it is,
right.
And I feel like this is the death of that. This is the final. We've already been on the downward spiral of this, but the fact that they are just using those same tools, using those same things that were supposed to stitch us all together and democratize knowledge and everything else, they're using all of those same tools to tear apart, the biggest, most important liberal democracy on the planet.
Right.
Like this is it. This is where we go over the tipping point into technology is not necessarily the place to do good in the world anymore, I think.
Okay.
So that's my depressing half-formed thought. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but that's what it feels like to me, is that like this is the final nail in the Star Trek dream of technology will save us.
Yeah, I think that you and I have had similar kind of callings to work with technology because it's something that we've just naturally picked up. Like a lot of this stuff makes sense to us, and we don't view it as a solution in of itself. We don't view it as these magic bullets, right? We're not these snake oil salesmen when it comes to like technology, fixing everyone's problems, right? Like we view technology and our kind of like adhesion to it as like something that we can leverage to make things better for ourselves and for other people, right? Like we found like our niche, right?
Right.
And to have the thing that we have kind of like used, or I don't know, like it's really core to our identities as individuals, as people, that like we find we obtain some self-worth from our jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do feel better about ourselves because of the work that we do, right? Not all the time, because hey, stuff is tough. But I think that, we look at how we've advanced through our technology-centric careers, and like I'm happy about it, right? I'm proud of like what I've done and what I'm going to do. And it sucks to have people put so much stink on it, and it was bad enough when like self-driving cars are out in the streets of San Francisco and there's a fucking Waymo traffic jam, right? Like that's one thing. But then to have like that thing enable fascism or like a theological oligarchy, like what the fuck are we doing here? Like, why is this the thing that is letting this happen or making it accelerate? Like, why is this fuel on the fire? Right.
Yeah. No. And also I want to be clear, like, obviously I agree with you. Like it's a tool.
Yes.
And it has been used in all sorts of bad ways in the past. Like I'm not naive about that. Obviously. I've seen some of it quite personally.
Yeah, no, we all know bad shit has happened.
Right. But like the primary driver behind developing the tools in the first place was this vision of democratization and bringing people together and all of that. And that is now that's the part that I think is dead. Like it's the driving force, like the critical mass of like people who are in charge of these tools and are setting the direction of like which tools are going to get developed and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no longer that project.
Right.
And I feel like this was the tipping point where like there's no bringing it back.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I understand. Like, yeah. It's really tough to see.
Mm-hmm.
When you have something that it was an extension of like, say, tribalism, right? Because tribalism is the understanding that a group of people can collectively do more than those individuals can do on their own.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And the internet was an extension of that. It was built on the understanding that when we connect with each other and we have the opportunity to share our knowledge, then everyone gets better. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And to have what is happening now, like, which flies so in the face of what the technology is intended for, is really, really painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's going to get dumber and
yes, that's the thing.
And crueler and all of that from here on out. I mean, we've got to say, like, this is February 5th that we're recording this. So, like, who knows what's going to happen from here? But, already the vandalism of the government is, like, really pretty shocking. And, like, we're deep into a constitutional crisis at this point, because I think the next question is, when someone says stop,
right?
If they don't, then what? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we're back to who has guns and who doesn't, and that's no place to be.
Right.
So, yeah, it's gonna get ugly from here, I think.
Yeah.
And it's annoying that it's the IT professionals doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the part I did not see coming. I did not see coding, like programmer interns being the tip of the spear. Like, of all things, it's insane.
Do you think that you've kind of this is something I've talked to my therapist a lot about, like other areas, but do you think that there's a point in which you no longer have the ability to be surprised when it comes to stuff like this?
No, I'm still surprised by it.
You're
I'm
still
not.
surprised?
No, I don't feel numb to it yet at all.
Well, you can still be angry or upset, but do you ever have wait, no, like?
Oh, I've had about 100 of those in the last week.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many things that have come out in the last just 3 days.
Okay.
That I've been genuinely shocked by.
Okay.
Which I was surprised myself. I was surprised that I was surprised.
Okay. Yeah. I
think it's the method. I think that's I was trying to think about it, and I think that's part of it, is that, like, I know this world really fairly intimately.
Yeah.
Of, federal government IT stuff, and, like, the fact that they've been able to just walk through the doors and get access.
Right.
Something that, like, if you're a legitimate contractor in a federal agency, you're lucky if you get access in like 60 days.
Oh, yeah. No.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, this whole thing is mind-blowing to me. And then just that alone is crazy. And then to, like, go in and start deleting things or modifying them, it is so illegal.
Yeah.
It's so illegal because that data doesn't belong to the agency. It belongs to people, right? Like, that's the reason behind all these, like, really truly onerous processes. They really are obnoxious and annoying and do need to be reformed in some ways. But, like, just handing this shit over to a 24-year-old and say, have fun, that's a terrible idea.
Right.
And also, again, incredibly illegal.
Yes. Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
You and I, we are going to record a little disclaimer right now, and I'm going to leave this part of the podcast in. And we're going to put this up top because we want to let some people know that this is going to get heavy. Okay. And I think that this is something that I'd like us to do for shows that have, like, political, like, content, or because, do we just want to put this in for every show for the next 4 years, or? We're still going to have our good old fashioned dick arounds, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes, but you're right. Yeah. So, okay. All right. So here we go.
What do we say? Okay. Yeah. We're just going for it. Okay.
Hey, everybody. Just want to give you a heads up.
Sorry, guys.
Ian and I are going to talk about a bunch of political stuff today in today's show. So if you are trying to stay away from the news, you just want to use this podcast as a sanctuary and not think about bad things, this may be an episode you want to skip. And I can drop a time code in of if you just want to fast forward, to some point later in the show where we're done talking about all that stuff.
Yes,
so there you
check
go.
the description for time codes for avoidance.
Yep. So there you go. We love you. Wait, that's your line.
Oh, wait. Thank you. We love you. Goodbye.
Okay. There you go.
Nailed it. Boom.
We did.
One take. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah. It's tough. What have you been doing as far as coping besides being completely engrossed in the delightful game Balatro that I'm sorry I told you about?
Yeah. Not doing my work and instead playing Balatro. Drinking whiskey. Drinking whiskey's been good.
Sure.
And I've just been keeping busy. That's always my, if I'm busy, I'm good.
Yep.
I've been very busy.
And like you said, in an episode before, kids are great in this instance, right? Because you just walk in their room, especially at this age, and be like, we're getting ice cream, right?
You can do whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You have the ability to be a superhero to them on a minute by minute basis, or their biggest antagonist that they've ever faced in their entire life.
Yes. Sometimes both at once.
Right. Yeah. I remember us briefly talking about introducing Nico to some old video games. Have you been able to do any of that recently?
We have been playing a co-op game of Civilization for a few weeks now.
Okay. Okay.
A couple of a half hour here, a half hour there.
Yeah.
So we've been doing that a lot.
Okay. Nice, man. That's good.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Nice. Hey.
He just wants to attack everybody. So he just keeps attacking people, and I'm trying to go for a culture victory. And he's attacking everybody. But since we're allies, everyone keeps everybody keeps denouncing me as a warmonger. And I'm like, it's the other guy.
I gave you wheat. It's the other guy. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Batman and Demolition Man.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. We have to make these moves to keep our mental health, going, right?
I agree. Speaking of that though,
yeah.
You got to do some mental health thing.
I did.
I was not able to join.
You were not. Ian, PETA organized a trip to the Centennial Track that has been reopened under new ownership.
Oh, so happy.
One of our absolute favorite tracks, a delightful kart track just on the side of a hill down in Centennial, Colorado, which is on the east end of the metro area of Denver. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just it is literally on the other side of the hill where there's a runway for a regional airport.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. Let's pull it up here. Yeah. Centennial Kart Track.
So this is an outdoor track. We've talked about this on the show, but it's been a few years because it hasn't been open forever.
Yeah.
But it is a blast because there's a ton of elevation. And the karts, well, I don't know. You tell me, how are the karts now? Because they are, I'm guessing, new.
Yeah, they are new. They feel like the podium karts. So they are, okay. I think that they're pretty solid. I could only get them up to about 43 miles an hour.
Okay.
And since it's outdoor, I was able to run Track Addict, and I have a video that we'll have on the YouTube channel that you can watch, and we'll link in the description of my third session. We did 3 heats, and it was really, really interesting. So let me take you through my history with the Centennial Track. Okay. Because I've been there under 3 very different ownership experiences.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Right. So the first time I went there was before 2008. It was when I was working at my previous job. We found it. We went there. When I was getting seatbelted when they were setting up the carts for us, they didn't have seatbelts. And I was like, oh, no seatbelts? And the guy that was like setting up the cart was like, oh yeah, when these roll over, you don't want to be in them. Like, so your safety plan is for me to get thrown to safety. That's the plan.
Well, that's like he said, when these roll over.
Yes, not if.
No.
Yeah.
When this rolls over. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first experience there, right? And I was very new to karting and, not really, didn't really quite know what I was doing, but I had a blast, right?
Yeah.
There were my coworkers, a few of them were very much faster than I was. And then you and I started going when it was owned by Unser.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, so talk about like...
Yeah, we did league nights there.
Yep.
We did...
The winter...
The winter league was like the best. Like we did one race in the snow.
I didn't make that one. You did that one solo. Yeah.
Oh man, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had on the kart. It was hilarious.
I was there for a frosty morning, but no snow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The winter league was fucking great. It was awesome. I once went off so much, like the picture that comes up, not this one.
Yeah.
This one, but the next one.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, that one right there. So the fence in the background there, you can't see it, but there's like a crest over the hill, and then it goes down to the fence line. So it's the very top of the whole thing's laid out on the side of a hill. And so like at the very top of the track there, I was like dicking around, trying something different in one of those corners. And I was like, let me see if I can go flat in this corner. Spoiler alert, you couldn't. And I went 2 wheels off, and it just sucked. It was one of those things where like the grass was a little wet and it just sucked me like up and over the hill. And then I came to a rest backwards against the fence.
In grass, nowhere near pavement.
No. And stuck, right? Totally stuck. Wet grass.
Yeah.
Up like this. And
you were like back here, like back in this like corner area.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It was actually right in between. So in between those two corners there, that short straight.
Oh, yes. Up here. Oh, yes.
Up there. I was up in the back of there.
Okay.
And I was like, because there's a corner worker that's like down at the bottom of that hill, like in that little
like this kind of like little nook area down here.
No, in the middle of the track.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Sort of the infield area of the track there. And I was like, surely he saw me. And I was there for 5-6 minutes. And I was like, because they tell you do not get out of the cart.
Right.
And I was like, I think I got to get out of the cart.
You were Kevin McAllister in Home Alone at this point.
I walked up to the top of the hill, and I could see them like looking around, like counting the carts. And I was like, hey!
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And they got up there, and I was like, I did it real good. I went off real good.
And this is when you and I, like, they did a heavy and a light class. And I was in the heavy and you were in the light. And so I was not in the heat where this happened. All I see is you come in on the ATV of shame.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Whoopsies.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
It was a good one.
Yeah. So we did leagues there, but man, the carts got beat up because so many people, it was very easy to go off road, off course. We would routinely get passed by people who were putting 2 or 4 wheels off the course.
Yeah.
Right? Apparently this course is very well loved in the karting, like the United States, like national level karting community. People really like this track.
Okay.
Right? And, and so Greg Welsh, friend of the show, one of our earliest interviews, and a few other people purchased it. Like he left Unserve, started FDM karting, like a performance karting company, and they've purchased this facility. They're going to build a building. They have plans and blueprints and everything up, and and stuff like that. And so we're back, baby. We are back.
That's awesome.
We
knew him when.
Right?
He really was like one of our first ever interviews. Like,
right?
episode. I don't know what episode that was. But,
it was early.
Early.
Right? Yeah. It was,
Crazy.
yeah. And he was awesome to talk to. I remember him talking about his Alfa Romeo that he had and like
Mhm.
how his karting skills played into real life of avoiding accidents and stuff.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he's a super nice dude. Right.
Yes.
And we were there one time when he was on the course, like he is a professional kart driver.
Mhm.
And Jesus Christ, he's so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, right? There's like people that are fast, and then there's Greg, right?
Mhm.
Like, yeah. There was one time where he was behind me on the course, and I don't know if I've ever been so nervous. Like, yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, right. But yeah, so they've repaved parts of it, or maybe the whole thing, and they've
cool.
reworked the curbs.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, and so they have like the big plastic barriers here. We'll just look at the video here. Oh God, I went full screen, Ian. I went full screen.
Oh.
I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to exit full screen. Okay, there we go. Yeah, let me pause this thing. We don't need all the sound and everything. Let's go wide theater mode, Ian.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just mute
so you can see like here. Like,
oh yeah, those curbs are different.
Right. And they have some texture to them. If you go off and buck one, you are getting kicked in the air, man. Like,
So they're there to more discourage you.
yes, 100%. They also have
Because before, if you weren't using the curbs a lot, you
Yes.
were going to be slow.
yes, right. It is not the
Interesting.
case. The curbs are there to like really hinder you at this point.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll find a way.
You will. Yes. I want to see if I can show a really funny part of this lap. There was a kid that was like, I was trading places with, and then and he went off exactly where you went off in very hilarious fashion.
It's easy to do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing with this track is it can go in either direction.
Yes, we were running it counterclockwise that day.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to. I'll put the timestamp in the YouTube description of like when this kid went off in front of me. But it was it was delightful. Yeah, they do say that if you break one of these plastic barriers, they will charge you money. So yeah, they're taking it seriously, and like, they were only running heats of. Oh, they have online booking and all that stuff now. You can do all that stuff ahead of time. We'll put a link to the site in the description. But the heats were very thinned out. So like you would get tons of time where you wouldn't even really see anybody. So
cool.
Yeah.
And is it just one class of carts?
Yes, they don't have the twin engines. That was another thing. Yeah, they used to have twin engines there when it was under Unser ownership.
But I think I was only there like one or two times when they were working because they were almost always that twin engine one was almost always broken. If I remember right.
I drove it once. Did you drive it?
I did drive it once. Yes.
Yeah. It was
slightly terrifying.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It was very weird. It was, you could tell it was really heavy.
Yeah.
And like, it just behaved totally differently than a normal cart.
Right. Do you know what they have now? They have a twin seat cart. So folks can take their kids karting that aren't old enough to kart. You have to be 13 or older to drive here. But, yeah. So PETA's boss, Jay, brought his younger son, Arlo, who's 11, and Arlo rode with Jay and with PETA, and they had PETA's helmet radios. So they were talking to each other. Yeah.
I was thinking that would be fun to do that with Nico and give him some like, here's what I mean when I'm saying like, don't use the steering wheel a lot. And then also just scare the shit out of him a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. So we're back, baby. We're back.
I'm excited.
Right.
Can't wait. Can't wait to go.
Yes. It was about $30 for a 10-minute session. So got about 10, 11 laps. Yeah. 12. But yeah. So there you go.
That's about in line with the other like good outdoor places that I've been.
Yeah. This is the only outdoor place I've ever been to, besides like some dinky place in Branson, Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like that's expensive compared to like an indoor place like Podium or something like that. But for like a big outdoor place, it's about what I've seen before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Oh man, that's exciting though.
I can't wait for us to be there together. Yeah. So it's outdoors. So that means GPS receivers work, and the track is already in Track Addict. So Ian, we can make dorky karting videos.
I know. And we could do helmet radios.
Yep.
Man, that'll be great.
Right? Yeah. They have, so I figured out they have the little thing for ballast to keep carts equal during competitions.
Cool.
They didn't do anything with that during, the rental sessions, but there's like these like 4 kind of like rectangular aluminum or they're ferrous, they're steel. I had a magnet mount for the GPS. And next time I come back, I'm going to have a magnet mount for the phone. Right. Yeah. And then I had the 360 camera on the roll bar there. So there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. So mental health karting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. All right. So we're going to get back into it for a second, but we're not going to talk politics. Okay. All right. I got to bring us back down with something one of our buddies, Tim, saw. Ian.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Ian, have you ever wanted to learn that somebody was a horrible person in more than one way all at once?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it saves me a lot of time.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Tim sent this and was like, WTF Florida. Boom. Lowered Cybertruck. As if we didn't think poorly enough about people who
bagged?
I don't know. I don't know.
It must be bagged.
He was driving and he saw it and sent it to us. It is a lowered Cybertruck. Right. I do like I think our buddy Mark sent us this, but like the people that have started calling these Deplorians, I'm into that.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something controversial here.
You think it looks better?
It does look better.
It does look better.
The wheels are asinine and ridiculous.
Right.
They don't make sense.
No.
But if you had wheels that fit with some meaty meats on them,
yeah,
instead, it looks better lower to the ground.
Yeah,
at least from this angle.
Right. But that's also like saying like, I mean,
it's a low bar. Yeah.
Right. It is a low bar. Yeah. Remember that lady that like restored that painting of Jesus or whatever years and years ago, like so horribly? Yeah. Like that's like saying like, well, that painting is better than the one that like was completely degraded before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, also this person is parked terribly. They're parked essentially in the middle of the road.
They are. So yeah. So there you go.
Those wheels are insane.
They are.
Like, they're sticking so far out.
So knowing Tesla build quality, can you imagine how like the issues on the joints when you're running like spacers or something like that to get like such a crazy offset?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's going to be real bad.
Yeah. I wonder, that's a good question actually. So like with the torque from that these cars give through those hubs and axles.
Right.
Like I wonder if that's way worse with doing shit like this.
Right. Like if like pushing the wheelbase out like compounds it more than it would just like a car that has more torque just rolling on rather than instant.
It makes sense that it would, right? Like if you have 1,000 pound-feet of torque going through whatever nonsense this is.
Right.
You would think that would be worse, I would guess, right?
It can't be good. Like,
no.
I don't think they've improved things in any way. Best case scenario is it's a tiny bit worse. That's your best case scenario.
And also none of this says I've engineered this properly.
Right.
I've consulted many experts in the field.
Yes. So there you go. But
that's amazing.
To bring us back up, Ian, I have a Craigslist post from Jesse.
Oh man.
Yeah. You've seen the URL. You know what's going on.
I do. I see the URL and I am excited because I get excited every time I see one of these.
Yeah. Ian. Oh no, don't tell me it's gone. Oh, I double pasted it. Pasted it. Whew. Okay. Ian, tell people what you see.
I see my next bad decision.
Yeah.
I see a 1987 Mercure XR4 Ti.
Yep. Yep,
with
1987.
a number on the
baby.
side.
Right? Yeah, I don't know if this is like the shop car or what, a community auto repair, but yeah, 100,000 miles.
Rust free, it says.
Yeah, 1987 manual transmission, turbo. The interior looks real nice, Ian. Look at that.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, that looks great. I mean, steering wheel cover, gotta go.
Well, sure, but it's probably covering
hate
up
it.
some pretty degraded leather.
I'm sure it is. I would rather have degraded leather than the steering wheel cover. Those things make me so nervous.
I get it. Yeah.
But man, that's a really nice looking interior, honestly.
It is. Look at the way the dash is angled towards the driver. I've never ridden in one of these. I've never driven one of these. I've never known anybody that's had one.
Nope. They're super rare.
They are. They were always the weird car that like, and this is, I knew about Merkur people before I knew about Saab people, because there was a house not too far away from where I used to live where there were always two of them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And I would see them all the time before I even got into Saabs. And I was like, oh, they have two of those. Yeah. So like, I just knew
they have one.
True. Yes.
Which means they have one.
Right.
They have one that works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. An A and a B. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I just had the feeling like, oh, like this must be like a cult car. And yeah, I'm in. Yeah. I'll drink the Kool-Aid.
A hearty salute to whoever buys this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
So great.
So there you go. I mean, yeah. Thank you, Jesse, for sending that in, and goddamn it, Tim, and thank you, Tim, for sending in the lowered Cybertruck. Yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
It looks here like you have a license plate game.
I do. Ian, do you want to play one? I
want to play it.
Okay. I think you're gonna like this one. I've not gone for a theme with this one. Let's close the Cybertruck. Make it go away. Okay. And I think it works better this way. So, all right, here we go. We're going in the Ian Don't Look folder. License plate game. Ian, this is license plate. A vanity plate game 118. Randos. Just some randos. Let's do it. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we've got up top, is that an Escape? A Ford Escape?
Yes.
Okay, a Ford Escape. Then we've got a BMW X3 in white. And then we've got a Nissan Murano. I think that's a Murano, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Not a Kicks. No. And then we've got okay. Buy X3, but BYE space X space 3.
Right?
No. Knowledge.
No.
Okay. We're definitely going to need some zoomies and enhancies here. I have some ideas already, but I want to do some zoomies and enhancies. Please.
Okay. And I do want to let you know that I have a hint should you really need it. Okay. But I think it's a kind of a giveaway, but I do have the ability to show you one of the previous cars that one of these plates was on. Because I took one at one point and my wife took another, and it turned out it was the same plate.
It's the same plate, but on a different car.
Yep. So I have this is the newer car, whatever this plate is on. Okay. So your hint, I can tell you which plate it is, right? Which car, or I could just show you the picture, right? Kind of cascading, right? Like obviously the easiest will be if I show you the picture. Okay. The full picture that has okay.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Well, let's do some zooming in and see if I need it.
Yeah. Okay. Escape.
Oh man, I really wanted to see what state that was.
It is from a distance, and I can't quite remember the state.
It looks maybe like Colorado. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a lot to go off of there.
Yeah. I don't think it's Colorado.
Oh, okay.
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 3.
White, Colorado.
Yes.
Nothing interesting.
Yes. And I can confidently tell you that none of these plates are Louisiana.
Hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, let's go look at the Nissan.
Okay.
What do we got going on in this license plate frame?
It's like it was hard to tell. It's like
Enhance.
it's like I think maybe like little baseball mitts or maybe like seashells or something like that.
Or Mardi Gras beads.
Maybe I don't know.
Okay.
It didn't look like beads to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can confidently tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. This is just some randos.
This is a tough one.
It is.
Okay. So I think buy times 3. I think that's buy. I think that is an in sync reference.
Okay.
I don't think that that's saying like goodbye to a BMW X3.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
I think no is on the X3.
Okay.
Saying that it's not an M car.
Okay. Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
So here's what I think. I think buy a Ford Escape. Like I think that's where I'm going. I'm going. I think these are in order. I think buy goes on the Ford Escape. I think that's the car of somebody who is a NSYNC super fan.
Okay.
And then I think no on the BMW, and then I think Nolans on the Murano.
Okay. Now, I'm going to give you something. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I want you to assume that I designed this game to properly just screw with you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's not helpful. So are you saying that buy X3 is on the X3? Oh, so the previous car was also an X3. Oh.
I don't know. I can tell you. I Oh man, yeah,
okay,
I can.
I'll amend. I talked myself out of it. If I was right beforehand, I'd be so pissed. I'm gonna go. Nolans, buy X3.
Real quick, when you do your little point and
Did you mute yourself?
No, it was noise canceling because it was noise
Why
canceling.
Why can't I hear you?
It was noise canceling because I was laughing
so
hard.
Are you talking to the listeners and not me?
No.
Oh, are we having technical difficulties?
No, noise canceling.
Oh, I pulled my headphone jack out. No. Yes, I did. I was so animated, I pulled my headphone jack out. God damn it. I thought you were playing a trick on me.
When you do your little point and you get like real stern with me.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things in the universe. So help me God. Favorite moment of the show. Yeah, that's okay. All right. Okay. So you were saying if you were right before and now you're rethinking it.
Yeah. Then I'm going to be pissed.
Okay.
So, but I think
I would tell you if you were right before, and I can confidently. I mean, do you want me to tell you you didn't get any of them right before?
Okay, I'm gonna say Nolans buy X3. No,
You didn't get any of them.
What? How is that possible? I didn't get any of them right both times. Buy is on the Murano. And then Nolans is on the BMW.
Here, let me show you the previous car that plate was on. This is the previous car Nolans was on.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
What is it? Tell the audio listeners.
Oh, it's a BMW 330i.
Right.
Extra. Huh.
So what car out of these would you move to if you had a
Probably the X3 then, right?
right?
So the X3 is Nolan's.
Mm-hmm.
And no is on the Escape.
Yep.
Man,
Yep.
I sucked it up on this one. How did I got none right twice. That's hard to do in a game with only 3 options.
I think it is a direct reflection to the quantity of hints that I had. Like the more I was prepared to breadcrumb out, the worse it was somehow for you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So thank you, Johnny, for sending us no. Thanks to my sweet baby boo who captured Nolans, right?
This was tough.
Yeah, right. And thank you, Jesse, who sent the Buy X3. She sent that, and I was like, we have to have another vanity plate that is Nolans. And then I saw 2 Nolans in the folder. And I was like, what? There's 2 Nolans in the folder.
Same plate.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Right? So, yeah, when we were doing the reverse license plate game a while ago, I think I was like, oh, I know a car, like I know a plate that's, that I've gotten a couple times. This was it. It. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, thank you, Johnny. Thanks, Boo. And thanks, Jesse.
Yeah. Well, that one was terrible.
I'm sorry, but it was fun, right?
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was good.
I've been thinking about the buy plate. Like, that just makes me happy. Right? This just makes me happy. Buy.
That's good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's a clever vanity plate. I like it.
Right? Yeah. So there you go.
Mr. Dave, should we finish up with an album of the week?
We should. You're going to give me an album of the week, and I'm going to say, no, that's not it.
Well, I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm doing an album that is coming out as you listen to this, either tomorrow or today.
Oh, okay.
It's coming out on Friday. This Friday, the 7th, I think. It's a band that I love. I've talked about a bunch on the show. Squid has a new album coming out called Cowards, and I am very excited about it. From what I've heard, it's like a little bit of a different sound. But this is like UK kind of jazzy prog band that I love so much.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about it.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. So go listen to that, and everyone will become super fans, and it'll be because of me. And then they'll have to come play in Denver.
Is Squid on Warp Records?
They might be, actually.
I think they are. That's how I know them, by seeing them on like the Warp mailing.
I think they might be.
Yeah, they are a Warp artist.
Yeah.
I am firmly of the belief that you should support as many Warp artists as you can.
Yeah, I haven't been steered wrong much by Warp, so
right?
They're great.
Yeah, probably the single most formative label in my music discography.
That definitely makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, a drummer that sings, that's always good.
Love that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
nice. That's awesome, man. Okay. Yeah. Squid. Links to Bandcamp because they definitely have it. The Warp Bleep store. That's Warp's online storefront. I love that they just call it Bleep.
Right.
I'll put a link to Bleep in the description, and Apple Music and Spotify.
Awesome.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, I will check this out. I've listened to some Squid before. Yeah.
Yeah.
They almost always consistently make like album of the year lists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For good reason.
Yeah. It's absolutely. Oh God. I'm hitting things over here. It's going poorly.
You're just rattled from that plate game, aren't you, buddy?
I am. I unplugged my headphones and like.
I love that so much. I thought it was the noise canceling because I was laughing so hard.
No.
So I was screaming noise canceling at you. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Please leave all of that in.
I will. I guarantee it.
Oh my God. Dave, I think we did a car show.
We did. We did.
Yeah. It was a real journey, this one.
Look at us in our light green shirts today. We coordinated.
We did. We talked about it earlier. It's like, hey, buddy, what are you going to wear?
Yep. Just kicking our legs behind us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If anybody needs to get a hold of us, 720-515-1391, apexadjacent@gmail. We're on the Blue Sky. Kind of, that's about it at this point.
Yeah.
But other than that, everybody, thank you. We love you. Goodbye.